Hello everyone. Today we will talk about the Preseason Web project. My CSS is easy one. So, what is actually CSS? CSS is the cascading style sheet. It's the tool, it's language we use to style our web pages. CSS really saves a lot of our time and a lot of our work because I will give one example. We have 100 objects in our HTML, and we can write only one style to all of these objects, and it will save our time 100 times. Okay. For the beginners, for the all web developers, it's really important to know the basic of CSS. So here you can see page with just HTML without using any CSS, and here you can see pages with CSS. The content is the same. Here you can see the header, paragraph, small header, and others. Here you see the same object, but it looks more pretty and more presentable to other people. Yes. With CSS we can create this page or more beautiful. Okay, and there are three ways of inserting CSS to your HTML file: external, internal, inline. In this slide, you can see external way of inserting CSS to HTML. In external way, we should create another file, style CSS, for example. Here you see index.html and style CSS, and two objects, header and paragraph. This is my HTML file. They are not written any style, and all style I wrote in my style CSS file. You see body background color light blue. Yeah, I applied it to all my body. And header 1 color navy, it's blue, then margin left 20 pixels. So you can see that it shifts to a little bit to 20 pixels. Here the format of HTML file, we have head, and in head we should write the information about our page, for example, link, title, and etc. And in the body we are creating all our objects like here. Okay, this is the internal way of inserting CSS. I didn't create other files, CSS, because all style we are writing in our head part, just mentioning style, and inside the style we should write CSS code. So this is the sample. This is the same page, the same style, but I use different ways of inserting CSS. This is the internal way. So let's move to inline way. Inline way, when we write to every object, for example, body, we can write style is equal to background color light blue. And we apply it to only this body or only to this header. And if we create other header, it will be just created by default without any style. So inline way, it's not so effective way because you see that we writing the same code several times, so it's not effective. Effective way, it's using the external way of inserting CSS. But if you have object that differs from others, you can write the inline CSS. Okay, here I wrote the basic CSS properties. It's the height and width. We can change the colors, background color, text color, border color, and here pay attention to the different ways of the colors. For example, we can write colors names. Colors is equal to black, red, orange, or we can write the code, RGB code. Colors is equal to RGB and the code of the color. RGBA, it means this color will be transparent, or you can use the hexadecimal value for your color. Okay, next is the background. Background, you can use background color, background image, background repeat, and others. You can also style the text with text color, text align, text decoration, text transform, letter spacing, and of course, changing different font styles. So I really recommend you to learn all these basic CSS properties by yourself. And next is responsive page. We have a lot of devices with different size. For example, this phone, large phones, tablets, and desktop. And sometimes we see that our website is looking very good in the desktop, but in mobile version, it's showing the bugs, and it's not looking, it's looking very bad sometimes. And to avoid this situation, we should write responsive page. I will show you only one way of creating responsive page is the media. You should apply the media rules. This is the example code, media, and after media, you can write keywords. For example, all, not, only. Here I wrote the all because it means you will apply it to mobiles, to desktop, to tablets, and other devices. You can apply not. It means you will not apply to this device, or will not apply to this size of this device. Okay. And if you write and, you will specify the size of the screen. For example, max width 600 pixels. And for body, you will apply background color light blue. So this style you will apply only for screens that less or equal to 600 pixels, because you mentioned here max width 600. Okay. So let's move to the code. Firstly, I want to show you that the description. We should create for desktop this one, and for mobile, this classes or object. header, hero, content, sidebar, and footer. And it should be also responsive. You see that this is for mobile and for desktop. Okay, let's start. Let's create a file, index.html. Then we will need style CSS, style.css. You see, here we are using the external way of inserting CSS. So let's create the HTML tag, HTML, let's close it, HTML. Inside, I will write the body, close the body, wait, okay. I will create my header file, head, and close the header. So inside the head, I will link to my style CSS file. Okay. With link rel style sheet href style CSS. Link. Link rel style sheet. Style CSS. href is the style CSS. Okay. Here we're linking to our style CSS, and all style we will write there. So let's create our classes. I will create with div, and let's call it header. Here I will write the content header, and let's close the div. I will just copy and pass 5 times. Yes. So let's call it hero, then content, sidebar, and footer. Content, sidebar, and the footer. So here is also we will write the content hero. Okay. I want to write not like this. I will write it with header 1. I will close the header 1, and here I will write header, and the same to other classes. Here will be hero. Here will be content. Okay, and here will be sidebar and footer. Okay, now we can see what we created in index.html in our browser. You can see header, hero, content, sidebar, and footer. Okay, let's apply some styles to this object in style. To apply style to classes which we created by ourselves, we should write a dot and then the name of the class. For example, dot header, and we apply background color. Let's see the color of the header here. Here, color was given by hexadecimal code. So let's put it here. Again, I will copy a header, because I have 5 classes. Hero and content, sidebar, and the footer. Let's change the color. So, okay, I want to close it here. If we update our index.html, now you can see the same color in every classes. Okay, let's change the color. The color of hero, I will put it here. Then the color of the content, the color of the sidebar, the final footer. Let's copy and paste it here. So if we update our page, you can see all classes with different colors, but we see that we have white spaces between our classes, and our page is not responsive. Okay, so let's remove these white spaces. How I will remove it? I will just apply for all my page the same style. To apply the style for all page, I will write the star and quote inside the brackets like this. I will do margin is 0 and padding also 0. So let's do our text in the middle, in the center. Yes, I think it's align text. No. Okay, text align. Yes, text align, and let's do it center. Now let's update it, and you can see page without any white spaces, and your text is in center. Okay, but our page is not responsive yet, so let's do it responsive. We will use the method I showed you before, media. So you can also, you will write in style CSS, media. I will apply media by default, So I will not write all, not only, I will just write media and the size of the screen. So, okay. Let's create it for desktop version. We see that in desktop version are changing only in desktop and mobile version, changing only two components, two classes. It's the content and sidebar. Other classes still the same. So that's why I will apply the media only for these two classes. And of course, I will apply the flex to only these two classes. Firstly, I will create content and sidebar, okay? I will copy and delete this and create another class, div class container, which will have these two content and sidebar. So let me close the div. Okay. Yeah, you can see the content has not changed. We just add new class for container and sidebar. And if we apply style for container, it will be applied for the content and sidebar together. So let's write if I write the container display flex, and you can see changes like this. Our content and sidebar became flexible components. You should write only this one, display flex, and apply all flex box components. For example, flex flex direction. Flex direction is in desktop. Okay, let it be row. Flex direction will be row because in desktop version, our components should be in one row. So that's why direction will be row. And let's write for the content width 50%. It will be width will be 50% of the screen. And for sidebar, the same width 50%. And let's update our page. You see the difference, content and sidebar in the half, one in the half of the row and sidebar in the half of the row. So we created our desktop version page, and let's apply the media. So as we created for desktop, it means that we should apply the media for mobile version. And let's see the sizes of mobile phones. For example, the mobile, you can see here in the code, in console. iPad is the 768. Let's see the small Galaxy S5. It's 360. So the smallest is 300, right? 320, the smallest one. And the larger phones, right? Okay, let's create it for larger phones and tablets. For example, iPad. Okay, it's 768. So we can create the we can apply the media for the screen. Max width will be let's decide it 1600 pixels. The max width will be 1600 and we will apply it for only two components, for content and sidebar, because we will change only these two objects. So with dot, let's change the container, and it also will be flex, display flex, and flex direction. Now it's not the row, flex direction will be column, because every content and sidebar will be like one row, will be inside the column. So flex direction is column. Okay, and we give size of content and sidebar 50%, but in mobile it should be 100%. So that's why I will apply for content. I will apply for content width 100%, and the same for the sidebar. I will apply width 100% sidebar. Okay, and let's see our results. This is the desktop. Okay, let's update our page. So, yeah, you can see the mobile version and the desktop version. It's responsive. So here is when our screen size is 600, all our columns, all our rows is like the 100%. So after that, you should just finish and send to peer review this project, and that's it. Thank you for attention, and goodbye.